Okay, so we got to talk about these bowl games because we are bowl enjoyers here at the Biggest 12, unlike so many of the infidels out in the media sphere. And I want to talk about, before he has to leave us, I want to talk about the greatest bowl game in the history of bowl games, the Pop-Tart Bowl, which BYU is facing off against Georgia Tech because Notre Dame is too chicken shit to play them. Okay, BYU is a 3.5-point favorite against Georgia Tech. I think BYU is absolutely going to wreck shop on those Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. Bomber, what's your take on the game, and are you going to make it down to Orlando?
No, I'm not going to make it down there for the bowl game. I think bowl games are largely superfluous, so I'm not necessarily on your side.
You're part of the problem, Bomber.
I am. You know what?
A freaking toaster.
Yes.
No, what I'm saying is, if you're going to pay the players all the money and you give the school an appearance fee, I'm okay with it. But if the players aren't getting like an additional NIL bump or something like that to attend, the risk outweighs the reward. Why would you? Except if you want a trip to Orlando and go to Disney World, I guess. But anyways, whatever. Let's get off of that. As far as I'm concerned, BYU shows up for these things. Kalani loves to play in bowl games. It'll depend on, I don't know if we'll have a quarterback, right? If we have our backup quarterback, because, Bear's ankle is still, and he's evidently been in a boot and on crutches. I don't know. It'll just depend how he feels, I guess. But if it was up to me, I want this team back together next year. I don't need them out there doing something stupid and getting hurt. So I think BYU wins. I think they're a better team than Georgia Tech. But I'm kind of like Notre Dame in this regard. Why show up for a bowl game if you're not in the whole thing? I think the college football playoff is where it's at, and we just need to add more games to the college football playoff.
Man, I could not agree with you less.
Okay, that's cool.
You thought he was going to stand up and talk about how BYU was just going to wreck the Ramblin' Wreck from Georgia Tech and make a statement and show why they deserve to be there, and he's just like, I don't even want to be there.
I don't want the greatest toaster ever of all time.
I don't want to see a Pop-Tart descend into a giant toaster and enter college football.
I mean, what is your motivation? Instead of talking about the different bowl games, tell me why show up with your team when you're losing people opting out to go to the NFL, people opting out so that they can do the transfer portal. You show up with a team that's maybe 45 or 50 deep, and those kids will be playing more snaps, and there's potential for them to get hurt. You lose people in these games. I don't know why you would do that for your team the next year.
Well, the why is,
if we're worried about getting hurt, why do we play any of the games?
Yeah, exactly. The why is
to get into the playoff. That's why you play all the other games.
Playoff.
Well, 15 extra practices to get your young guys ready for next season. The guys who are still committed. That's
my
one.
My opinion on the practices, and that is the only reason I will say, Chris. That's the only reason I would say do it. I think everybody should get those practices, whether you go to a bowl game or not. I don't think it's fair that if you're 4 and 7, you don't get those extra practices because you didn't win 2 more games. That's stupid. Okay, there's so many things wrong with college football. Everybody should be able to do those practices, and whether you show up to a bowl game or not should not be fined. I think those things are just ridiculous.
The other side of it too is BYU and the PR campaign that comes from going and just slapping Georgia Tech around. You're sitting at number 12 right now. You go and just bulldoze Georgia Tech and into the ground the way Texas Tech did.
We bulldozed Colorado and ended up 29th in the rankings to start because we lost a key player. It didn't help us last season. Why would it help us this season?
Well, because I'm assuming Bear Bachmeier isn't going to commit some nefarious activities and transfer over to Tulane over the offseason. Because if Jake Retzlaff had stayed, BYU was primed to be the team in the Big 12 this year. I mean, everybody. And it was only Jake Retzlaff doing the honor code violation that kind of knocked BYU back, and BYU worked its way back. In this case, you've got Bear Bachmeier coming back for the foreseeable future. You're returning quite a bit of this roster. If you go in and make a statement win, you could start the next season ranked in the top 15, possibly even the top 10, which helps tremendously when you get to college football playoff selection time.
Well, you forget that Texas is automatically a top 10 team.
Well,
I would say, I think your top 15 is very stretched. If anything, BYU's like 19th or something. All I'm saying is go out now and beating the crap out of a team in a bowl game. I don't think gains you much more. And 30 years ago, that meant a lot. You go to a bowl game, you show up the next season, you're in the top 10. That happened all the time. It's not like that anymore. That hasn't been
because we got too many damn bowl games.
Okay, but again, all you're doing is undercutting. So you're just making my point. So if that doesn't make a difference, then why do it?
Two things can be true. Bowl games are stupid in the year 2025, and BYU absolutely needs to go and just punch Georgia Tech in the face.
Okay, all right.
But I mean, my plan has always been to just copy and paste the FCS format into the FBS.
24. Let's go.
Go to 24, which I think is what the Big Ten is pitching right now. That's and then you take the best of the bowl games, like the original bowl alliance games, and then like the Alamo Bowl, and put them into like a football NIT.
Yes.
With the Pop-Tarts Bowl at the top for
That's what you should do with the bowl games. That's exactly right. Put the bowl games into a 2014 playoff. It's the simplest answer.
Y'all are killing me right now.
Wait, didn't TCU opt out of a bowl game?
We did in the COVID year because our whole team had COVID.
So and then Baylor is opted out of a bowl game.
Now
that's
Baylor.
That's Baylor.
Baylor opted out, and people were like, "You weren't invited."
Tradition is one thing. I'm a tradition guy, but come on, let's turn the page and get into where we're actually wanting to compete with the SEC. And SEC teams don't want to show up for bowl games. They have no incentive to do it. So why should we do it?
What if they gave us NIL?
One of the things, I wasn't going to bring up this rant again because I did it yesterday. One of the things that used to always make college football so much better than any other sport, it was about so much more than just who wins the national championship. There's so much more to get excited about. There's so much more to have fun with on your Saturdays. Yes.
I never did.
Because then you've had a bad time since 1984, haven't you, or whenever?
No, I think every year you're playing for one thing. If your expectations every year has been, I want to play good enough to get to the Holiday Bowl, you're not in it to win it. Every year since 84 and even before 84, I've wanted BYU to win the national championship.
Well, sure you want it, but
no. You're saying you're willing to settle for something else. I'm saying there was no settling. It was that or nothing. And that's, I think, where we're at now. It's all come full circle. We're back to 1984, and the only reason to show up for the games is to win the national championship.
Listen, it's a community experience. It used to be about regional rivalries. It used to be.
It did used to be
with all the people and kicking someone's ass on Saturday.
It did used
going
to be
a fun location for a bowl game when you were a part of a team. Like I think about these Notre Dame seniors who found out. Oh, guess what? You just played in your last game. You didn't even know it, right? They were assuming they were going to get a nice bowl trip.
Well, they said they voted.
Well, that's ridiculous.
They reported that they voted to do that.
I cannot.
Now, I don't think you're being fair. You're saying they thought they were going to be playing in the first round of the playoff. They almost thought guaranteed they had a spot, and yet you're saying because they were going to get to that spot and didn't get it, that they wouldn't naturally have an aberration. They would not want to They wouldn't want to have anything to do with a bowl game. I don't think that's right.
Played in the Peach Bowl in 2014 and kicked Ole Miss.
You're saying but that's you. I could totally see Notre Dame not settling for anything less than a playoff game.
Notre Dame.
That's why Notre Dame sucks.
Notre Dame doesn't lose. They win or they quit because it's not fair.
Okay, but that's their choice. We live in a choice world.
But it's a dumb
you should be
choice.
forced to show up. No, come on.
Charmin soft.
No,
I cannot fathom.
Well,
if
we should allow teams to opt out, then Iowa State should not get penalized $500,000.
I agree. That was stupid. I thought that was stupid. I completely agree with you. I don't think that they should have been. The problem is these bowl tie-ins are done by contract. The first team, the second team, the third team. If it wasn't for those contracts, there wouldn't. That's why the teams that did it later, TCU or whoever, didn't get fined because they weren't contractually committed to going to those games. That's why.
Well, COVID was a different time too.
Yeah,
no, I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about right now. If TCU did not out now, I wasn't sure if they did or not. I thought you said they might have. But Baylor opting out, if they got fined, it's only because of the position they were in the rankings. If they had been lower in the rankings, 6 and 6, they're not going to get a fine for opting out. So,
the only reason Baylor had an opportunity to opt out is because Kansas State and Iowa State opted out because they weren't bowl eligible.
Oh, Okay, all well and
Conference should
good,
foot
but
that bill, not my.
you're talking
athletic
about an
department.
obligation to show up for an alternative game that, as far as I know, these players aren't getting a side check to show up, are they?
Well, and that's how you fix it. You
I mean,
put an
you used to-
NIL
I agree with
component
you.
in the
If you
bowl
pay
games.
them, then you give them the option to play. You give them the option to play, but you don't force them.
The bowl games
I
used to give
just-
you like goodie bags, like the Fiesta
Used
Bowl
to
when
be.
Iowa State there.
Yes.
Like all of them got like PS5s.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
The
iPods, stuff
the
like
swag.
that. That's right.
Yeah,
The stuff we all get.
bags.
I don't,
Yeah.
and they might still do that. I'd rather get a $50,000 check for showing up to your stupid bowl game.
I just think it's ridiculous that you have to bribe kids in the first place. these
It's not a
days. I
bribe.
think
You're paying
Yes,
them to
they-
play a game
So-
that has no.
What was that
That's not
Colorado
true.
coach years ago,
That
back in
has
like the
nothing
early
to
days
do
of the
with
Big
it.
12, who went on ESPN? He was like, "It's Division I football. It's the Big 12. It ain't intramurals."
Yeah.
That's kind of what this is. Like you're a Division I college football athlete. Bowl games are part of the deal. Go play them.
Yes, you've got an
I
opportunity.
don't- I
to
don't
compete, but
agree.
compete.
I don't
That
agree
is
with
the
that.
reward.
I don't
reward
agree.
is
Well,
you get
that's a
an
reward.
opportunity
You're
to
making
You're
it sound like
getting-
an obligation. You're making an obligation.
Dan
It's
Hawkins.
a get to, man.
That's-
You get to play college
You
football.
get to. You get to.
Yes.
I'm allowing you
Yes.
to show up for your slave event. Yes, please. I'm allowing you.
It's
to
not
show
a
up.
slave event. It's sports. It's an
Pay 'em.
extracurricular
So pay
activity
'em.
that they make
pay
a
'em.
crap ton of money plus a
So
free
pay 'em.
education to play in.
I didn't
And
know-
the
I
ones
didn't
who
know it
don't
had
make
college
any of that are just
athletes.
happy to be there and would love to
So
be there for
pay
another
them.
game.
The solution is to pay them. If
Well,
you pay
yeah.
them and they opt out, that's a different thing. But you're talking about
Taking their money
obligating them
away.
without giving them extra money.
This, whatever.
All right. I gotta go anyway, so I get to leave you.
Yeah,
on that
get
high
out of
note.
here, bro.
Hey, Clint, I will tell you, I'm happy to sit down with you. I'll go through it point if you want to have a debate about it. But I'm
this
very
is-
clear-thoughted.
The
I
biggest
have thought about
12
this. I know
pros and
exactly where
cons,
you're at.
point
I'm
counterpoint.
happy to do it with you if you want to talk
I need a
about it.
PowerPoint presentation. Like I
Clint,
need a
you ignorant
full-blown
slut.
power deck.
I
for
want
this
things
thing,
the way they
so-
were. I want people who want to play
I
football because
know,
they
but
like
those
football.
days are gone, Clint. Those
Well,
days are
bring
gone.
them back. damn it. I don't like football.
What happened
right.
to the game I love?
I love you guys.
Fewer
Thank you so much for
concussions
having me
happened.
on.
Yeah.
I'm going
Players
to do
can
my
actually
show
think
now.
because they're
That-
not concussed every week.
I can't remember his name, but I mean, that BYU quarterback who won the 1984 national championship, he was playing with like 2 broken ribs and a broken leg.
He
Detmer,
was.
Ty
He was
Detmer,
all. No, it wasn't Detmer. It was Bosco.
Really?
Probably.
Bosco, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. I got a jet. We'll see you guys later. Thank
They
you
don't
so
make
much.
it like they used to.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
see ya.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
Man, okay. I want to talk about bowl games. I like bowl games. Damn it. Texas Bowl. Okay. Houston's playing
Yeah,
LSU.
that was one.
Yeah. Houston's
One down.
playing LSU. So apparently the whole reason that Houston got passed over for the Alamo Bowl is because the bowl games were concerned that they wouldn't bring any fans. Enter your Bombers of the world, right? Okay,
Yeah.
so now here they are. They're in Houston. They're playing in the Texas Bowls against LSU. I do think that this is a game they can win, specifically because LSU is coachless at the moment. And I do think that this is likely a situation where Houston is more excited to be playing in this game than LSU. What is y'all take?
I think Houston needs more basketball losses so that way they get on the football hype train.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if they could lose to Iowa State, that would be even better because we are a basketball school.
40 chess, right? We're trying to think about things in a broader context. Okay. The Alamo Bowl. I am super hyped that TCU is in the Alamo Bowl. I was hoping
Yeah.
to be getting the Pop-Tart Bowl. This is even better. I might make it down to this game. I'm really looking into it. USC, there's a lot of historic juiciness to this game because the USC Sun Bowl in 1998, the first game I ever remember caring about. Yes, I love bowl games. Okay. That's what kickstarted TCU's whole revival and renaissance in the 2000s is beating USC in that Sun Bowl. And here we have USC again 10 years later after the iconic 31-point comeback against Oregon. Watch my documentary.
That I was going to say the same year that you made a documentary about it.
Yes, exactly. The same year
I was,
made a documentary
I was
about it.
genuinely going to ask you, are we getting a part 2 now?
Well,
Remember
maybe.
the Alamo Bowl again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we played at Stanford too in 2017, and that was also a comeback, just not quite as impressive of a comeback. But okay, so this TCU is a 6-point dog against USC. I don't know though. Like the vibes are really good, and TCU is in the market for a new offensive coordinator. Mando Frog. I've not forgotten about this. The Kendall Briles era is, dare I say, mercifully over in Fort Worth. I'm not going to say anything else about it. But we are in the market for a new offensive coordinator. A lot of different interesting options being thrown around out there. I've heard Jake Spavital get thrown out there. The Penn State offensive coordinator, what's his name? Andy something or other. Andy K something. A lot of different options. You're asking me, Mando Frog, who I want? I don't know. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I don't know who I want. I do think that if you can get that Penn State guy, that's somebody that you definitely got to look at. But I feel like if it ends up being a Spavital, I'd be happy with that enough. It's somebody who's going to put an emphasis on running the ball effectively and being nasty and physical on the offensive line. That's really all I'm looking for. To be completely honest with you, can we beat USC? I think we can. I do think we can. What's y'all's take?
I think it's going to be close.
Yeah, I do think it'll be a competitive game. One of the better games.
Who's actually calling the offensive plays now, though?
Well, we don't know. Sonny Dykes has insinuated that he might call the offensive plays.
Oh boy.
That would actually be best case scenario for TCU,
honestly,
in my opinion.
Probably. I feel like there's a slight chance Malcolm Kelly could call plays. I would assume that there's probably Malcolm Kelly is interested in being considered for offensive coordinator, but I don't think that would be necessarily wise. Not because I don't want Malcolm Kelly on staff. He's an excellent recruiter and he's a great receivers coach, but it's just he's unproven. He's never called plays before, to my knowledge. So, yeah, Sonny Dykes calling plays is probably the best case scenario for this bowl game. And it's going to be really interesting to see where we go for offensive play caller in the future. Mando Frog wants Malcolm Kelly. There you go. But, yeah, I do think it'll be a really competitive game, and I think it's going to be a fun game. That's why I want to try and make the drive down there to Graham Harrell. Yes. Throwing that out there too. I wouldn't mind Graham Harrell one bit. That's definitely going to keep you in that air raid vibe. Yeah. Okay. So, he might be seeing ghosts from 2006 whenever he steps on the field the first time, but you know. Okay. So, moving on to the Sun Bowl. Arizona State taking on Duke. This game worries me a little bit, y'all. Am I alone in this?
I mean, Duke kind of like drunkenly stumbled their way into an ACC championship. So, I mean, why not?
Yeah. It worries me in that the Sun Devils have lost. They've officially lost Sam Levitt at this point.
Yeah.
They've lost at least one key offensive lineman off of this team. I wouldn't assume that Jordan Tyson is going to play. He probably will opt out. I just think you got a weak Arizona State going into this game against a Duke that is on a little bit of a hot streak. That does worry me. Brownie, who do you think wins the Sun Bowl?
I'm still rooting for Arizona State because I don't like Duke.
Of course.
But they definitely have a shitty hand of cards.
Yeah, you want to talk about things that you hate about the current state of college athletics. It's Sam Levitt hitting the transfer portal for his senior year out of Arizona State. I mean, that was just disgusting.
Yeah.
But Arizona State was actually semi-decent when he was injured. I mean, I thought they were done, and they kind of stumbled their way into, what was it, 8-4? Yeah, 8-4.
Well, until they ran into Arizona.
Until they ran, yeah. But, I mean, Duke is they're on a roll right now, but they're still Duke. And so if Arizona State has even a little bit of the roster that they had in, like, the last 5 games of the season, I think they're okay. Otherwise, I think Duke's just going to roll over them.
Yeah. Well, looking ahead to New Year's Eve and the Las Vegas Bowl, I don't think there's any question that Utah is going to eviscerate Nebraska.
Nebraska is buns, actual buns.
Yeah, my big and it'll be so sweet seeing Dylan Raiola, cry. But
he's not playing. He's out.
Is he not playing?
Is he really?
Dad's out. His brother decommitted. Raiola's just done.
Wow. Well, the big thing I'm watching with this Vegas Bowl is after all the hemming and hawing online from Utah fans talking about like every conference event in the world should be held in Vegas because it's so easy to go to and yada, yada, yada. If Utah does not fill up that stadium, then they deserve all of the derision in the world.
Well, I definitely know Nebraska's not going to fill it up. They can't even fill up Memorial Stadium. So they barely filled up Arrowhead Stadium.
Yeah. Talk about it different from the way things used to be, man. The fall of Nebraska football. I'm gonna hold.
I hate to see it.
Yeah, sure. Couldn't happen to nicer folks. Okay. I'm gonna hold Texas Tech till the end, so we'll look ahead to January 2nd, Liberty Bowl. Cincinnati playing Navy.
How is
Liberty
Memphis
Bowl
not in this game?
I know. Memphis is in. I think the Gasparilla Bowl. I think Memphis is in.
They
But
should have gone to the Liberty Bowl. I'm just saying.
it's like speaking of contractual obligations, right? They have to play a home bowl game every year.
Yeah.
I think that Navy is a little bit of a tough draw for Cincinnati, just because anytime you're playing a service academy, it's an ass beating, if we're being completely honest, and especially one that runs triple option effectively. I do think
you're never going to be more conditioned than they are.
True.
Like they're always going to be. They're never going to run out of gas.
No.
Yeah, literally. So here's another thing, Chris. Back when I was at TCU as an equipment manager, and Coach P was the coach, we were in the same conference with Air Force. Literally once every single week, we had an Air Force period. Didn't matter if we were playing Air Force or not, but it's like you have to be ready to play against a triple option team. So know your assignments, know your gaps, and run like hell. It sucks to have to play teams like that. The thing that worries me about this game, because I do think Cincinnati is the better team, but they've been on such a cold streak. I don't think they won a single game in the month of November. So can they get up and rally the troops to win this Liberty Bowl? I don't know. I hope they do.
Same.
If they're not decimated by the portal, then I think they'll be okay. But if they're losing even a small portion of their roster, then they're not going to beat Navy.
Yeah. And this game I'm very interested in, the Holiday Bowl. SMU going back to the Holiday Bowl for the first time since the 80s and playing Arizona, who is extremely fiery hot after their end of the season. Brownie, I've been shocked, by the way, after our game that we played, how many of our Pac-12 schools have ended up in those traditional Pac-12 bowls, like the Vegas Bowl, like the Holiday Bowl, like the Sun Bowl. I think Arizona should and will roll SMU in this game. Yeah, that's pretty much my take.
Yeah, I think Arizona's starting to become the Arizona that we kind of thought they would be going into the year before last. They're starting to put the pieces together as of the end of this last season. And again, the bowl game is such a toss-up. That's why we got into such a heated debate earlier. But if their roster is what it is as we sit today, then Arizona probably wins this game. Otherwise, who the heck knows?
Yeah. So let's talk about those Red Raiders, Chris. The whole reason you're on the show, man.
Texas Tech and James Madison.
Yeah. Hey, I would love it if James Madison won just to shut up the Big Ten. I'm a TCU fan. I'm always going to root for the little guy if the opportunity presents itself. I would love to see James Madison beat Oregon. I do think it's frustrating, just from a third-person perspective, that Texas Tech, who I think realistically would have a claim for number 3, I think Ohio State should be that number 4, frankly.
Yeah.
You lose a conference championship game, you should be penalized in some way for it. Don't tell Alabama that, right? Georgia should be 2, Tech should be 3. And because Tech is 4, I think that Oregon is the toughest draw of those second-round teams that you could get. However, I think that Tech is really well positioned to beat this Oregon team. People who are not in the Big 12 just literally have no concept of the fact that Tech has not only a good defense, but a great defense.
Oh, yeah.
Sell us on it, Chris.
If you had a defense, like if TCU had a defense with Romello Height, like that would be a really good defense. Or if you had a defense with David Bailey, that's a good defense. Same with, any one of these pieces on a defense is going to make it a good defense. And Texas Tech Jacob Rodriguez. And you have all these pieces together in one group. This isn't like a really good Big 12 defense or a really good Texas Tech defense. This is like that Clint, but the Georgia team from 2023. This is like their defense. And so I've heard a lot of Oregon fans specifically talking about how they've got the easiest draw. They've got 2 bye weeks, and they think they're just going to roll over Texas Tech. Texas Tech has never faced an offense like Oregon, which is a very run-heavy offense. And what I'll tell you is, if you think you're going to beat Texas Tech by running the ball, you're wrong. You just aren't. You're not going to blow out. Yeah, exactly. you're not going to blow out Texas Tech. If you win, it's going to be like a 16-14 type of deal. But you're not going to just go through and push this defense around. And so the question really is can Texas Tech's offense break through Oregon's defense? And I haven't watched enough Oregon football this year to really answer that. But I know the Oregon defense is not near as good as the Texas Tech defense right now. And so, if Texas Tech does what they did to BYU, then, that's I think it's a bad matchup for Oregon is what I'm trying to say. Oregon might be the more talented team on paper, but I just think the matchup is not good for the Ducks and great for Texas Tech.
I agree with you. Brownie, what's your take?
I think it's going to be definitely interesting because Oregon obviously is one of those teams that has always been a thorn in everybody's side. I think they always bring something unique to the table. But realistically, I think the only thing that anybody really gives a shit about in this specific matchup, if it is Oregon versus Texas Tech, is what jerseys are Oregon going to wear?
Yeah.
That's all I care about because they're going to lose in whatever they pick. So might as well make it like super cool and flashy. Like, are they going to go with like the chrome helmets with the all whites? Because they're going to be surrendering at halftime. I'm interested. I am invested in this game.
Yeah,
just for the jerseys.
That was one of the coolest things about having Oregon come to Lubbock a couple years ago. It's like, yeah, there they are, and they've got the crazy uniform.
Yeah. I think that Oregon definitely did it right, especially when it comes to that marketing, but also they have Nike in their freaking corner. So of course they have 5 billion jerseys. Yeah. So I just don't think that this is going to be remotely close. I think Texas Tech is going to roll them. It's going to go into the next round with Tech, and then it's really then going to be how good are they actually in the next round.
Because then it'll be most likely Indiana, right?
Midiana.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Tech has a really, really nice path. I think I think you very realistically could see a Georgia Texas Tech national championship, and God help you if you lose 65-7, you'll never hear the end of it, Chris. But how deep do you think Tech can take this thing realistically, Chris?
Realistically, and I was accused of being a homer the last time I was on the show, so get ready. But realistically, I think this Texas Tech team is good enough to beat any team in the playoff field right now. Mm-hmm. Will they? I have no idea. But I think as they sit, as long as Baron Morton stays reasonably healthy, and I'm told too that not for the next game, but if Tech beats Oregon or James Madison, then Skylar Gill-Howard will be there for what I would assume would be the Indiana game next. And I just don't think. I think this team reminds me a lot of what the 2019 basketball team was, in that the defense is just better than everyone's offense. There's not an offense that can break the defense, and you have an offense that's good enough to do what it needs to do. And that recipe took you all the way to the national championship game and a Ted Cruz selfie away from winning the whole thing. And God, if that guy shows up to a national championship game.
I learned,
he is.
I learned last year that he was at our 22 national championship, and I was like,
well, of course.
Son of a, are you kidding me? Of course.
Hear me out, though. If Ted Cruz has a selfie and then Drake also takes a picture with your team's gear, does the double negative cancel each other out?
I think I think that's our only hope, really, in that scenario.
Well, then
we got to get Drake.
Sure that Drake is down there.
We'll start a GoFundMe. Get Drake to the game.
Yeah.
To take a picture with Ted Cruz.
Question mark.
But I think Georgia is the team that maybe concerns me the most, just because I think Georgia's defense can go toe-to-toe with Tech's defense. And again, the question becomes which offense can break the other defense enough. But they're truly, with the defense that Texas Tech has, and if Baron Morton stays healthy, there's not a team in this field that Texas Tech cannot beat.
Yeah. I think you're right about that. I think you are. And we've gone a little more than an hour. Y'all have had so much Biggest 12 this week. Look at you lucky people. Merry freaking Christmas. Okay. Yeah, I'm excited about bowl season. I'm excited about the playoff. I'm excited about all of it because I love college football in its purest form. And all the money stuff makes me want to have diarrhea, frankly. So there you go. Gentlemen, tell the people where they can find you.
Go ahead, Chris.
Well, Flatland Sports, you can find me Flatland_sports on Twitter. Just search Flatland Sports on YouTube, TikTok, and everywhere else you get your social media from. And the Flatland Sports Podcast, new episodes every Wednesday. That's all I got.
There you go. Brownie.
You know the drill already. At WRNL Brownie on X, Blue Sky. Follow the main channel if you want. Join our Discord. It has been a whirlwind of events for the past week for Iowa State fans, including some super cool, fun, awesome basketball games that we also got snubbed. So, snubbing all around.
Snubbalicious. Okay. Follow me on Twitter at @_Foster55. Please subscribe to the show at Big Girl BOCFB. We're so close to 1,000. Help us get there. There's literally no better time to subscribe to Foster Creations and check out Remember the Alamo Bowl, award-winning documentary by yours truly. Put a lot of effort into it. I just want you to see it. Hope you love it. Check us out wherever you get your podcasts. And follow the Voice of College Football at VOCFB everywhere you get your social media fix. And also, it just occurred to me that I forgot to run our main ad. So, you've seen the Voice of College. You've seen
That's both times I've been on the show now.
Yes, Voice of College Football bets. Check out Voice of College Football bets. Okay. And, hey. Happy bowl season. Merry Christmas. We'll see you next week. Until then, I hope your team wins. I love you. And go Big 12. We'll see you around, folks.